Welkom beste mensen bij Eemland on the Move met nog een interview in het Engels. Daar ga ik nu ook naar over op het Nationale Rugby Centrum met de defense coach Tyrone. Welcome.
Thank you. Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, that was a bit of a surprise. I said that we've got two extras. We've got two Scottish actually, aren't you?
Two Scottish. Well,
Yeah.
I was born in South Africa, but my dad is Scottish, and I've spent the last sort of 8-9 years in Scotland. And made it my
I
home.
figured. There you go. You see, that wasn't a typical Scottish accent that I heard. No. Nice one. And you came together with Brian here as a defense coach. What and Brian just tipped on it. What does a defense coach do other than looking very intense and like it permanently hungry, and you want to eat somebody alive? But that's a different one. What does a defense coach?
Definitely, that sort of look is in my nature, for sure. In broad terms, I look after everything that goes on when we don't have the ball.
Yeah.
So my objective is for us to get the ball back as quick as we can, in essence. So design systems and processes that will put the attack under pressure, make sure there aren't any holes for them to get through to score, and then for us to get the ball back as quick as we can so we can get scoring points.
That's a specific approach that needs a lot of focus and fitness, I would think. But where have you look like you've played yourself, haven't you?
That's a compliment.
I'm not making any elaborate statements. Well, where did you play your rugby? Obviously in South Africa, I think, or not?
Yeah. So I've been around the block. Thanks.
Yeah.
So I started in South Africa. That's where I grew up.
Yeah.
Played for Western Province, which is a province in South Africa. Played for the Stormers in Cape Town.
Yeah,
So I was born in Cape Town,
Yeah.
And then came over to Glasgow Warriors.
Okay.
So at Glasgow Warriors for a few years. I was lucky enough to get capped for Scotland.
Okay, cool.
So that was obviously my highlight of my career. From there, moved to England, where I met my wife. Spent 2 years in France playing rugby, and then that was me hanging the boots up.
And where did you play in England?
At Newcastle Falcons.
Newcastle. And in France?
I was a senior player coach at Stade Niçois, so in Nice.
In Nice. Okay. Oh, that's a nice part of France, right? So that was nice. Jeez, yeah, that's serious. And the Stormers, that was more or less where you've been brought up, or what school did you play, or were you at?
So I didn't go to a rugby school. It was a little school in like a fishing village as far south as you can go in Cape Town. About 15 minutes from the southernmost point in Africa. So a great place to grow up.
Yeah.
But not a sports school. But managed to work my way out of school through the ranks, the rugby ranks. Played Province Under-19, Currie Cup, and then again a highlight was playing for the Stormers. I mean, I grew up watching all of them. A lot of the players at the time, like the Skalkbergers, the Sia Khaleesi's, Dwayne Vermeulings, were like my mentors or guys I looked up to. And then around the corner, I was playing with them, which was exciting.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool, that's good. So you're that young.
I'm that young.
Okay.
I'm only 25.
Really? Okay, wow.
No, I'm not.
Oh, that's nice. So you got a lot of the Stormers. That's a bit of a pinnacle in South Africa, right? It's the Stormers, the Bulls, the Lions, and the Sharks. Those are the top teams, right? And the Sharks is Durban, Lions is Joburg, Bulls is Pretoria, and indeed the Stormers are Cape Town, more or less. That's the way it goes. Yeah, I know. Well, I come in South Africa since not the last 2 years before, almost 4 times a year always. So I'm very much acquainted to what's going on down there.
Sounds good.
Nice. Okay, and what was your position?
So I was a back row, like 6, 7, 8. But the majority of my career I played open side.
Open side, a flanker, open side flanker. There you go. So you did the running and the drilling.
Yeah, tackle, jackal. That's what I did for a living.
Makes sense. So that got you to the defense specialism.
Exactly.
Cool. That's nice. So, well, you also just landed here. I think a month ago. You guys come in a pair. So, now, what are your findings so far?
Listen, it's been really exciting, actually. Again, when I first came over, didn't have a good understanding of, other than the games I'd watched, really of the culture, of the players, what to expect. But after the first 2 days, really excited. There's a group of players here who are extremely passionate about putting their national jersey on They want to learn, they want to get better, and there's a journey or there's a target of the World Cup in 2031.
Yeah, no, that's pretty clear indeed. Yeah, it's a well, yeah, indeed. As South Africa and Dutch are aligned, a lot of times we are accused of almost playing a lot of South African-ish rugby because those ties. You see a lot of South Africans running around here, and also had coaching jobs, etc., etc. But that must be a difference because in South Africa, it's sport number one, more or less, right?
Yeah, it's the bread and butter.
Yeah,
you wake up. Or you grow up as a young player, and that's the main sport that's on the TV all the time.
Yeah,
it's definitely like I wouldn't say religion, but a big passion.
It is. Well, that's what, again, as I said, I'm coming a lot in South. Everybody thinks that New Zealand is more or less rugby is a religion, but I think equally so in South Africa. And it shows obviously being the world champions for the last 2 times.
Yeah, listen, I definitely agree. It's also something that. Or the national team sort of pulls the whole country together. So there's like a bit of, they're seen as sort of the hope for the nation as well. But definitely a very passionate group. And that's, I suppose, born and bred in me as well.
Cool. Well, that's nice. So yeah, in Netherlands, we are naturally taller than on average other countries. So what do you see there? And being the defense coach, how can we capitalize on that? So what is it you've seen so far?
Physicality is something I've been very impressed with. The guys hit hard. They want to hit hard as well. My process while I'm here is going to try to implement some basic systems to get them in better positions to execute what they love doing, and that is big tackles. At the moment, maybe those processes aren't there, so they're not able to express themselves in the collision the way they want to. My job will be to make sure that they're in position quicker, in the right position to be able to express that.
And when you're talking about a process, what does that look like? What is a process according to your definition?
Well, I suppose it's making decisions or solving problems that the attack are presenting with a set of processes, nice and simple to execute. You should be able to, once you've seen a picture, know the answer, execute it with your eyes closed. Things like how many numbers you need on the short side, how many you fold from set piece. If there's a tackle in the center field, like how do we create good numbers both sides of the ball, and making sure that we're taking in that information from the attack, so then we can execute the equation that needs to be solved.
Okay, those are things that probably come naturally for you and your upbringing, and that's what you learn as a little kid already. Here, it's in development, and some are like, oh, okay, really? You need to maybe sometimes educate the basics a bit more than you need to do in more developed countries, or is that no?
Definitely. I think a lot of that might come down to the coaches or the competition you get to come up against. But being here now, I think the players have a pretty good understanding, if not great understanding. It's just about getting them all on the same page. We don't spend a huge amount of time together as a national team.
No.
So all the players are running off different systems. My job, I suppose, is to make sure as quick as we can, get all the players singing off the same hymn sheet. It doesn't need to be rocket science. It just needs to be the same across the group in terms of the process and understanding.
Well, makes sense. You're also not based here, right? You're based in Edinburgh too, or in?
I'm in Newcastle.
Newcastle. Okay, that's okay. That's
yeah. So my wife we were in Glasgow, but my wife's a Geordie. She's from Newcastle.
I didn't want to say it, but okay, there you go.
So her family are there.
Okay.
And we've got 2 boys now, and it's just been really helpful having some support and being around her family. And
obviously,
so the move to Newcastle's been great, and it's drier than Glasgow.
Obviously, yeah. That's everything rains constantly in Scotland. That's Jesus. That's one grey city, Edinburgh. I've been there with the World Trophy.
Yeah.
When we played there with the under-20s, it's a nice city. Don't get me wrong, but I can imagine when it's raining, it's very grey and very dark.
Glasgow, where I was based, is even wetter than Edinburgh.
Yeah, so, I know. And it's more an industrial city too. Edinburgh is more of an educational city. It's more services and IT, and Glasgow is more industrial. So that's probably even worse. Yeah, okay. for that matter, but my perspective. You move back to Newcastle. Okay, so you're flying in and out also and need to follow everything from abroad, like Ryan. Yeah, makes sense. When is there for you are satisfied and you've got a perfect defense set up for the Netherlands, for the national teams here?
What does it look like?
Yeah.
Or,
What does it look like for?
I think being completely satisfied is a tough place to get to.
Yeah.
Because the game evolves. The game evolves so quickly.
Yeah.
And with it evolving, there's always things to change. Or how do you make sure that the defense stays on top or one step ahead?
Yeah.
So being completely satisfied,
It's never going to happen.
never going to happen. But having metrics to show improvement, picking particular metrics you want to go hard after, to make sure you're showing improvement, showing that we're moving forward.
What is a metric that you look at then, for example?
So tackle completion is a bog standard everyone would use.
Yeah.
But let's say we were completing, our tackle completion was at 80%. If we can get them to 85 or 90%, 90% being my gold standard,
Yeah.
that'd be the line I'd like to always be above. But that'd be the goal. That means that you're missing less tackles, less line breaks. Shapes the picture that you're in position more often to execute better tackles.
Yeah.
So that's a really easy one that you can measure easily.
Yeah. Okay. So you really need to start from the ground up here now, right? And physical fitness and physicality, that's good. So that's a nice start. So do they require other metrics that you like them to do when you're not around, or they need to follow or study to make you a more satisfied defense coach?
Yeah, there's definitely things from a physical standpoint I need them to be able to do. I need them to be able to repeat physical efforts.
Yeah.
So it's not just running in a straight line. I need them to be able to scrum,
Yeah.
to get around the corner, to be able to execute 3 tackles, get off the floor, get into line, chase a kick chase. And those things I need in order for us to be successful defensively. I need them to be able to execute a tackle, reload, kick chase. A lot of those things, working with Dino, the S&C, he's been looking after already. He actually does a really good job.
Yeah. Yeah. No, indeed. I've noticed that. Indeed, those programs that guys need to get within 1 or 2 seconds, get up and be ready for the next one to come. That's pretty intense. That's something that's way different than 10, 20 years ago, right, in the rugby. That's where the game has evolved, that you really have to be a complete athlete. It's nice to be heavy and strong, but you need to be pragmatic about it, or functional, let's put it like that.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think the game's evolving. There's still room for everyone, all body types. The tall boys for the locks, the bigger, stronger boys for props.
Yeah.
But everyone needs to have the capacity to repeat physical efforts.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you end up with one player potentially not doing a job, and that's where they find the hole from a defensive point of view.
Obviously, yeah. And you say the game is evolving. Where do you see the game evolve towards to?
Well, I think the kicking game over the last sort of 3 years has evolved quite a lot. Some of the laws that have been implemented have changed that in terms of now there's the 50-22. So you need to cover that more, which makes the front line slightly weaker.
Yeah.
But in terms of the men's game now, the evolution will definitely be in around, well, it's shifted to get rid of it to get it back, as opposed to playing deep from your half.
Yeah. Okay. And as a defense coach, and again, I'm just asking. I'm far from an expert. It starts with winning your set pieces, or is that? Yes, I've heard some say, well, that's relative.
Listen, set pieces is really important on both sides of the ball, but especially like attack. You can't win set piece. You don't get any launches. Defensively, I think it's really important for us to have a quality defensive line-out. If set piece is that important to an attack, well, I think it should be as important to defense to make sure they don't get it. So for me, making sure that how we compete in the line-out, how we stop mauls and drives, special breakout plays, that stuff needs to have a focus.
Okay. Well, I think you've got a good forwards coach in that with Allard Jonkers. He's very meticulous when it comes to his preparations and what he wants these guys to do. You work you work with the backs and the forwards. Everybody needs to do the defense. It's not one specific job, right?
No, so I'll flip-flop between doing some work with the forwards, doing some work with the backs. As you said, the whole team needs to be able to defend. It's been great working with Allard. It was good to meet him. He's a great guy. I've only been here for a short while, and we've had some really good conversations about where we think we can take this group, our strengths, things we need to work on. But he's a great guy to work with. Mitch is another one.
Yeah.
The attack coach.
Yeah, they're from a great club. It's called Eemland. Eh?
Is it yours? Yeah.
That's the yellow. Hence the yellow. This is Eemland on the move. So this is that club.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's where we're one of the first actually doing this on a regular basis. So that's why I was emphasizing that a little bit.
Well, you guys are in good hands because they are really two good coaches.
Yeah.
And it's been really exciting to coach with some new coaches who have good ideas and just to brainstorm and spitball rugby, really.
Cool. So you're here tied to Brian, so you're going to stick here around for 5.5 years to get them to qualify to 2031?
As long as I can.
As you can?
Yeah, like Brian and I were staying in an apartment together, and after training last night, we got back at like 10, and we spent like an hour just discussing the session and how things have been, and we were both in a position where we had the mindset of this is exciting, want to see it through.
But yeah, especially for somebody that's been, like yourselves also, you're used to tier 1 rugby being on top of the game, and this is really something, this is still very much developing, and there's so much more to do and to gain in every sense of the word. So that must be definitely a challenge. Yeah.
Definitely, but listen, I like being on the tools. For me, it's more rewarding. You get to actually coach, if that makes sense. Tier 1, a lot of the players have developed already, and you spend a lot of time working on sort of nuances and structures, and not so much the technical ability of actually how to tackle or what a particular skill requires. And there's definitely some room to spend time on those things. Yeah, and it's what excites me. Teaching the tackle, how can we get better at the tackle? Making sure we can read attacking plays better. What does that look like? What does it entail? What do we need? What process do we have to go through? Those are the kind of things that really excite me about the game. And to have a group that are as determined to win as they are to learn is exciting.
Cool. Well, Tyrone, thanks very much. It's great to have you on board, and you made a lot of sense. Amazing.
That's a first. Sorry, man. That's a sweaty.
Cool.